What up, what up? Alright, so this video, like I said, this one's gonna be on Crust Punk. Alright, so the Crust Punks are more of a little more political base in their music. It's more like anarchist collectives. They're more about being politically correct and shit. It wasn't really my style. I do listen to some of that music sometimes, like Nausea. Let me name some bands: Dystopia, Anti-Schism, Crass, um, Rudimentary Peni. There's just a bunch of bands like that. They're more political. Those kind of kids aren't really cool with me because of what I am. Because I followed more on the lines of a gutter puns, don't give a fuck. Wasn't too into politics when it came to like fuck the government, anti-capitalism, whatever. You know what I mean? I work in the oil field now. Well, not at the moment, I'm laid off, but you know what I mean? So I can't really stand behind their music and what they sing about, so I can't really relate. I mean, because when I hot freight trains, you know what I mean? Yeah, I was a scum fuck, you know what I mean? Needles, drugs, alcohol, fucking squats, you know what I mean? But when I could get work, I'd take it, you know what I mean? One time I was in Maine and I did blueberry harvest for a while, but it was a bad time back then too, but I made some money. And you know what I mean? I worked in Odessa one time, me and my little road dog Keenan, the one that passed away. We were hitchhiking to get through Odessa, and this guy, we're in front of a gas station there, and a guy comes up and he's like, I'll let you stay with me if you do some work. I was totally against it, you know what I mean? I don't trust people, I never have really. But my little bro Keenan, it was cold, it was real cold, and or not, it was somewhat cold, yeah, it was October, and Keenan's like, come on, bro, and I was like, nah, bro, I ain't feeling it. And the guy came back with a sheriff, and he's like, I ran your guys' name, and he's like, what I'm going to do for you guys is I'm going to let you stay with me, and we cut up there. But anyways, that's another story, you know what I mean? That's not really about Crust Punk, but crusty kids, they're in like anarcho collectives. They're in squats too, but they're more collectives, you know what I mean? You can find them all over the cities where they have books. They'll let you stay there, but every time I'd stay at one, I stayed one in Ogden in Salt Lake, and I got in a fight and I got kicked out. I fought some native kid. He called me a snowman. I turned around, popped him in the face. That's when I met my bro Knuckles. I don't know where he is. So if any of you guys are riding the rails still and you guys know where Knuckles is at, let me know. You know, I have a lot of you followers on here that still hot freight trains. I seen Sadie Byers comment something the other day. She never wrote back. You probably don't like me anymore either, but whatever. You know, I had a history with you. You were cool. Things didn't keep going the way they should have for me. I kept getting locked up, so I ended up this way. Cincinnati, all you guys, you know what I mean? I am what I am, you know what I mean? Being locked up, I mean, I never been to prison, but being locked up, you are what you are, and if you can't relate, then you never been where I've been, and that's on you, that's cool. But anyways, yeah, Crust Punk's more like, blah, like, fuck the government, like, I don't really know how to tell you, you know what I mean? It's about nuclear war, it's about, Dystopia is another one, it's about genocide in third world countries, you know what I mean? It's very negative music. They basically are like Antifa, the bitch, and they complain. Like there's kids starving in Africa, Cambodia, Darfur. It's like I listen to it, you know what I mean? I know where they're coming from in a sense, you know what I mean? But to live your life worried about other countries when we're right here homeless and we're right here drug addicts and all that, you know what I mean? Who gives a fuck what happens in other countries, in my opinion? Sorry, you know. I mean, we have our own battles here. I mean, what I've learned from being locked up is don't try to control something that you can't, you know what I mean? Like, when you're locked up, you can't control the outside world, you know what I mean? You have to go on. That's the only way you can survive mentally is you keep pushing forward what you are and the war you got going on right now, you know what I mean? Why would you worry about a war in another country or kids dying in another country, you know what I mean? All these Antifa kids and all these anarcho kids and all these crust punks, no offense, you know what I mean? No offense against you guys. I get what you're about, but you gotta grow up. You know what I mean? Like, they're fuck the government, don't like the government, whatever you want. But this is our country. This is what we fight for our freedom. Whether you, I really don't give a fuck about politics or what you think when it comes to this, because my family's fought in wars, you know what I mean? And I will always respect them. I always honor my troops. Plain and simple. They don't have to be right by killing all these people or whatever, but you know what? I'll stand by them because this is our country. And it's like, a lot of these kids are like, fuck the oil field, fuck the coal mines, fuck all that shit. You know what I mean? But here you are with your analogies or drinking your water out of plastic. Man, everything comes from oil. Everything comes from the power plant. Everything comes out of that. Like, what do you... I understand some of you are real, and I have met some real ones that do live in the woods. They live off the grid. I've been to gatherings where there's earth first. I've been to all kinds of gatherings. Like I said, I chill at front gates, so I'm more of the aggro camp, you know, always fighting, blacked out. They're more of this staying out in the woods, you know, and that's cool, you know what I mean? I respect that. If I could, I would go out in the woods, you know what I mean? But I'd still hunt for meat. It wouldn't be like on some vegan shit, you know what I mean? A lot of them are vegan, anti-war. I mean, that's what the world's based off of. Violence solves everything, in my opinion. That's my opinion. You don't like it, whatever. Um, but yeah, crust punk kids, they wear vests with a bunch of little studs. They're like little rounded studs, kind of, and they're usually black and white patches, like with Discharge and Anti-Schism. And some of those bands are cool. I do like some of them, but mainly me, like I said, it's like Black Flag, Misfits, Danzig, Pantera, Slayer, Gigi Allen, shit like that, you know what I mean? I like a lot of country, I like a lot of rap, I like a lot of white boy shit. I listen to all kinds of music, black, Hispanic, Chicano music, a lot of Chicano music, a lot of white boys, Woodpile, stuff like that, Yellow, if you already know, Jelly Roll, Pyrex. It's a lot of music. I mean, I've been all over America, you know. I've been in the ghettos, I've been in the barrios, I've been in the hood, all over California, all over the East Coast, you know what I mean? So for me to sit there and fall into one thing, to me, is a little different, you know, because I grew up in different parts of the street. I just fell into the woodpile more, you know what I mean? After getting locked up, I mean, being young, you know, traveling, I was looking for a sense of belonging, you know what I mean? And I seen it in the train hopping scene because there was no rules, you know what I mean? It's just like, fuck you know what I mean? I can fight right here, no one gives a fuck, you know what I mean? Bash someone over the head with a skateboard, jump back on my skateboard, no one knows who I am, cops show up, no, I'm just skating, homie, I don't even know what's going on. Things like that. You know what I mean? I was a ghost. And that's how I liked it, you know what I mean? I didn't want people to know me. I wasn't like that, you know what I mean? I wasn't looking for a bunch of friends. I was looking for a family, and I found it in several train hopping gangs, you know what I mean? I got Liver Death Squad. And I got 1, 2, 3 for Scurvy Bastards, but now it means 100% wood to me. I was a part of the coolest crew ever. That tattoo kind of came off. Things like that. And you know, like, I was locked up in New Orleans, OPP, before they tore it down, or I don't know what they did in New Orleans with it. They called it New Orleans Parish Prison. They're all the black dude. I was the only white boy in there, like, straight up. Everyone was black. Every single person. And I had no problems And it's been like that in Atlanta, Fulton County. It's been like that in Cobb County. There's a few white boys. Been like that in Maine. But they all kind of knew what train hopping was. And one of these guys from the hood, he was just like, bro, fucking, you guys are some stinky ass motherfuckers. One time I picked up two traveling chicks. They were crusty chicks, which were probably gutter punk chicks, but or they could have. New Orleans has all kinds of traveling kids, but she spread her legs, nigga, and her ass smelled like shit. I made her get out of my car, like, just fucking clowning, you know what I mean? And I done quite a bit of time off and on in New Orleans. For one time I grabbed a stripper's ass and a bouncer knocked me out, woke up in OPP. One time I was flying a sign, drunk, woke up in OPP. Fighting, went to OPP. I actually panhandled the cop on accident, blacked out. OPP. It's just a really, it's a life. I mean, if you want to do whatever you want, go do it. It's just like joining a gang, pretty much. You know what I mean? You're the outcast, you know what I mean? But eventually you will grow out of that life. And a lot of crust punk kids I see, they grow out of it, you know what I mean? They end up getting jobs. They're not saying fuck capitalism anymore. You have to have a job to survive, you know what I mean? Money is everything. And if you have the attitude of that money is evil, I mean, you ain't gonna get successful. You ain't gonna get nowhere in life, in my opinion. Money is everything. You give off that energy, you know what I mean? If you love money, money will surround you. That's my opinion. You start hating it, it ain't gonna come towards you. Laws of attraction, you know what I mean? But yeah, you know what I mean? To each your own. I ain't telling anyone what to believe and what life to live. I'm just not a crust punk. I have a couple, actually quite a few friends that are. They're native cats out here in New Mexico, and they got me into it a little bit. They showed me what it was, but they knew I was a gutter punk kid, and I would end up a wood shaved head, tattoos everywhere, you know what I mean? Like, they already knew. It just wasn't me, you know? But yeah, anyways, that's just kind of what it is. And then I'm gonna do other videos. Some people keep commenting and say they want to hear more about Keenan and Connor. There's more to come. I'm sorry, it's just I'm trying to figure out where to go with this channel a little bit. I think someone told me they want to hear more violence because violence is what people want to hear, like what I went through, the fights, it's pure brutality of the streets. That'll be more to come. I'll bring some more on with that. I'm gonna do, like, I think of serial killers that hopped the rails. Silverstein, there's quite a few. I'll read up on them a little bit more. Some more on FTRA, the most notorious train hopping gang in the United States, and I think they hit Canada. I'll do some more on that a little bit. And they're all locked up. Tell me what you think about that. If there is anyone that is FTRA that doesn't want me speaking upon it, let me know. I won't, you know what I mean? But as far as I know, everyone's dead. So, or locked up. And there's documentaries on them too. So if you want to check out FTRA, just look it up. You know what I mean? Other than that, yeah, it's a little bit on Crust Punk, you know what I mean? I don't want to say it, but some of them are like this rich, privileged, white suburban kids, you know what I mean? Trust fund babies that wanted to rebel against mommy and daddy. You know what I mean? I'm going to say it how I see it, you know what I mean? Most of them had brand new Alice packs, brand new gear, all those studs off of crustpunks.com. All their patches were bought off the internet. I used to make my patches, you know what I mean? Spray paint, fucking gutter punk kid, you know what I mean? I was actually poor. I was actually on the streets. I actually had a needle in my arm in the gutter, you know what I mean? Shooting up with puddle water, you know what I mean? So for someone to hit the streets like that, you know what I mean? And, oh, I'm punk rock. It's like, bro, you're not. You're not. You didn't grow up like me. I mean, call yourself what you are, you know what I mean? But if the shoe don't fit it, you ain't gonna wear it, homie. Like, But other than that, other than gutter punk and shit, like 80s hardcore too, that's just where I was into, that pure brutality, slam, mosh pits, you know what I mean, slam dancing. Every show, you know, I get kicked out. Except like in San Antonio, I just start socking fools in the face, just hitting it like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, bring back the 80s, kind of, bring back the hardcore. It's dead now. I don't care what anyone says, punk's dead. But hey, I respect everyone. I hope everyone's doing good through this COVID virus. People are dropping left and right out here in San Juan County, but I hope you guys stay safe, to stay quarantined. It could be, it could not be. It could be all this dumb shit. It could be all these conspiracies. Just look out for your family and the elderly people. You know what I mean? Nothing but the utmost love and respect. Stay up.